Welcome back, everybody. I'm gonna turn off this fan right here, and we are going to get started with our first live of the year. It is 2026, and let's get to it. We're doing 45 minutes of live side split stretching. We do this every single day to practice consistency, to build a little bit of community, and to hopefully make a whole bunch of progress towards our side split goals. I try to bring good vibes into the interwebs, and I hope you bring good vibes into the chat, because we are trying to make the suffering on the floor a little bit more fun so you can hang out with other people who have the same goals as you. That's the spiel. Hit follow, hit subscribe, keep coming back, because we are here every day at 9 p.m. Eastern. Let's get into it. It is time for some hip cars. Whew. Hip cars go a little bit like this. We are trying to work our muscles, get them stronger, and get that maximum range of motion that you can achieve at your hips. So we're going to start with bringing that knee up as high as possible. We're going to rotate that leg out, keep the knee as high as you can. Rotate the leg so that your ankle and your knee are the same level. I'm going to spin around. You don't have to move. From here, work on getting your ankle to the knee height. And then rotate some more. Bring that knee down, 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 down. Lift the ankle, 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 ankle. And bring the leg down and back. Flex the hamstrings, flex the glutes. Pull this leg behind the standing knee. And that is one rep. We're going to do 10 of these on the left side. We're going to do 10 on the right side. Let's go. Again, it's high knee. We're going to open up that hip directly to the side. Lift that knee as high as you can. Rotate the leg, keep the ankle and the knee high, and then keep on going. Bring the ankle even higher, and bring the leg down and back. Flex the hamstrings, flex the glutes. Whew. That's one. That's number one. Let's go. Two. Or we're starting number two, but we finished number two. Three. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, okay, that's one side. Let's do the other one. High knee. Open up that hip. Rotate the knee down, bring the ankle up, bring the leg down and back, flex the hamstrings, flex the glutes, feel that stretch in the hip flexor. We finished one, finished two, finished 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Whew. That is the first half of our hip cars, of our hip warm-up. We got to go do them in reverse now. And in reverse, they look a little bit like this. We're going to start by pulling this leg back, flex the hamstrings, flex the glutes. Feel that stretch in the hip flexor in the front. We're going to lift the leg to the side like we're doing martial arts. We're going whoosh. From here, I want to rotate that knee down, ankle up as high as you can. Then do the opposite. Ankle down, knee up, lift as high as you can, and finish by bringing the knee to the front. All right, that's one rep. We're going to do 10 on the left and 10 on the right. Let's go. Back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee. That's one finished. 2, 3, 4, ankle up, ankle down, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, last one, ankle up, ankle down, knee. Oh, that is 10. If your hips are getting a little bit tired, give them a light massage, shake them out, give them a second to breathe, or you take the second to breathe, give your hips a second to relax, and let's go. Final leg. Bring the leg back, Flex the hamstrings, flex the glutes, pull that leg behind you. Lift the leg directly to the side. Rotate so the knee is pointed down, the ankle is up. Do the opposite, ankle is all the way down, knee is all the way up, and finish by bringing knee to the front. That is 1 rep. Let's do 10 more. Back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee, back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee. That's 2. Ankle up, ankle down, knee, back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee. I think that's 4. 5, 6, 7, back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee. 8, back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee. 9, last one, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee. 10. Let's go. Those are the hip cars. We just finished part 1 of our warm-up exercises. Take a quick break, grab a sip of water, and we will move right on into the second warm-up exercise right after I check the chat. Akaria on TikTok has written some things in all caps with some celebratory emojis, and I have absolutely no idea what they mean, but they seem positive and feel like good energy, so I appreciate it. Do you have something for sciatica? No, I do not. Especially right now. Sorry. I have no expertise in back or spinal alignment, so I am not going to go and try and give any help because I'm just going to give you bad information anyway. Cool. All right, I'm scrolling up the chat, seeing how things are going since we started. Che has liked the live many times since she's joined. Welcome back, Che, to January 1st, and thank you for sending hellos. Let's see, what else we got? Akaria, thank you for following the live. Appreciate it. Ooh, and Akaria says, needed that. Love it. Oh, aloha from Hawaii afar. What? Did I not know how to read? No, that's a different message. Oh, okay, cool. I was like, Akaria, did I go crazy? Then my brain shut down in between messages? What has happened? Mahalo for your expertise. Thank you, thank you. Esma says, hello, everybody. Day 7. Welcome back to day 7. Thank you for coming back. All right. Hope you're having a good time over here on YouTube. Foxy Rexy says, hi, Happy New Year. Happy New Year to you too. All right, let's move on into the elephant walk. This is still the warm-up. So hip cars was kind of intense. We're gonna chill it out a little bit more by just folding forward. We're just trying to touch our toesies and trying to keep the low back relatively straight. Bring the belly button, this right here, down as low as you can go. That's it. That's all we're doing. Just chill for a second. Let the hamstrings tighten up. Let the space right underneath your glutes tighten up because that's where your hamstrings connect to your hips. And just chill for a little bit. Breathe. If you want, you can do a little bit of a light bounce up and down. And as you bounce, I want you to notice that you're getting a little bit deeper. Just a tiny bit deeper. Maybe your hamstrings are a little bit more tight, and that is okay. We're going to start bending one knee and straighten out the other leg. This is the actual elephant walk part of the elephant walk. And we're gonna just switch. Bend one knee, straighten the other leg, bend the other leg, straighten the even more other knee, and keep on going from side to side. I want you to bring that belly button down as low as you can so you're feeling the hamstrings. They're already tight, and then you're gonna stretch them out some more. You're gonna bend them, you're gonna make them move because you're bending the knee. And we're gonna keep doing this for probably another 20-30 seconds. Really wanna warm up that hamstrings, those hamstrings, because they got a lot more suffering to do today, all right? Let's go, keep bending, switching, change the width of your legs, experiment, see how things feel. I notice if I bring my legs really close together, I have a muscle that kind of just rubs really hard over. Maybe it's a bone, maybe it's another muscle, and the first couple of reps feel a little weird. Oh, and then after that, something must click into place because the rubbing disappears, and I have no idea where it goes. Oh, no, JK, I'm wrong. If I try really hard, nope, not that rep. One more, nope. Okay, occasionally it comes back and I don't know what it is, but that is totally normal. There's just a bunch of stuff going on in your legs, and we're trying to loosen up everything, get stuff moving good from this stretched out position. All right, that's a lot for the hamstrings. Take a second. If your toes are tingly, if your calves are a little tingly, that should be more or less normal because we really folded down deep into the deepest part of our hamstring stretch. Whew. Give your legs a quick break, and then we're gonna get right back into that same position, but instead of doing hamstrings, we're gonna add some thoracic rotation. Thoracic rotation is basically fancy for we're gonna twist a little. We're gonna bend one knee. So my left knee is bent, my right leg is straight. I'm gonna reach my left hand across the body to the right side. Then I'm going to push and help rotate my chest to the right. Extend my right arm behind me. I'm gonna look at that hand. I'm gonna reach behind, and come on down. Again, we're trying to bring that belly button down as we do this. Right now, my right knee is bent, my left leg is straight. I'm reaching across and I'm rotating. Chest is rotating to the left. Left arm is extended. Left shoulder is reaching back. My head is rotated to the left and looking and reaching. And that is one rep. We're going to do 5 total. Come on and let's do it. Come on, vamonos. Everybody, let's go. I turned to Dora the Explorer. I was like, come on, let's do it. Wait, that sounds so familiar. What is that from? Okay, that's 3. Oh, and let's do it is totally a chant that Dora has. Let's do it. Okay, all right. Embracing my inner Dora the Explorer. I have completely lost count of how many of these rotations we've done, but let's just pretend this is number 5 because I feel like we are there. 5. Oh, that was a little bit of thoracic rotation. We have hopefully loosened up the spine just a little bit. Maybe your shoulders, your shoulder blades are a little bit tired from reaching behind and really reaching for whatever it is, the upper wall corners. And with that, we are done with thoracic rotation. We got one last, what am I trying to say? We got one last warm-up exercise, and it's gonna be a little bit hard. It's challenging because we are doing some Cossack switches. All right, I'm gonna show you some easy variations. I'm gonna show you some harder variations. Pick whatever makes sense for you. You don't, if this is your first time ever, you don't have to push super hard. You're just trying to figure out how to do the movements. Okay, Cossack switch. We're gonna open up the legs. It doesn't have to be crazy wide or anything like that. We're gonna try our best to drop down to one side. And as you're dropping down, this leg over here is basically like a kickstand on a bike. So you can just extend it to wherever it needs to go. Try your best to fully extend and try your best to have your heels down, your toes up, and your knees up. On this side, the side that we actually care about right now, I want you to drop into a squat like so. Your knees are traveling in the same direction that your toes are pointing. So if my toes are pointing towards you, my knees are going towards you. I don't want your knee to buckle in this way. I don't want your knee to buckle out that way. Stay strong, stay pointed where your toes are pointing, all right? I'm exaggerating this, you don't have to open up your hip nearly as wide, but from here, I want you to feel the Achilles tendon getting stretched. I want you to feel that calf stretch right connected into your Achilles, because that is how the calves attach to your body, through the Achilles tendon. I want you to feel the stretch. I want to feel the pressure in the front of the ankle here, and I want you to feel the pressure in that hip joint as you are folding to the side. Your quads are probably firing and super tired, so you can come out of that for a second and try your best to sit down and squish into the smallest position possible. I wanted to highlight all the things that you should be feeling, and now when you're squished down, you'll probably continue to feel them. The goal of the squishing is to prepare our bodies to get into a nice compact shape for when we do the actual switches. So we're gonna hang out here for just a second longer. We've already talked about this leg. The heel is down, the toes are up, and the knees are pointing up. This is basically half my body already doing a side split. This is the side split position that we need. So keep that in mind. We're gonna use this again later. Let's put our hands down and scoot our butts over to the other side and try to do the same thing we just did. Your knees are pointing in the same direction as your toes. We're pushing that knee forward so you're feeling the stretch in the Achilles tendon so that you have that calf stretch down here, you might notice that the upper calf is a little not stretched out. And that's because when your knees are bent, there are two calf muscles. The bottom calf muscle is usually hidden by the big fancy calf muscle on top. And that is what we are stretching when the knee is bent. When the knee is straight and we lean all the way forward, it's the big calf muscle on the outside that gets stretched. Whew. Okay, long tangent. From here, feel the pressure in your ankle, feel the pressure in your hip, feel your quads getting tired, and find a place to rest. Drop down and get your hamstrings to hang on top of your calves. If your heels come up, that's totally a-okay. And we're gonna keep on trying to squish and get compact. Whew. Now that we've hung out here for a second, we're gonna give it a couple more seconds. Again, this leg, heel down, toes up, knees up. We need it for the side splits. We're rotating the hip. Sorry, we're rotating the leg so it doesn't smash into the hip. And that's the gist of it. Let's talk about the switches, the actual really hard part of this whole thing. We are going to start by putting our hands down and scooting our butts over to the other side and hanging out on the other side. The goal here now that we're trying to be strong, is I want your heels to be down on both feet. All right, and I want you to try to get squished as much as you can. If you can only get over to this side and you can't get any further, that's absolutely okay. But I want you to aim, to focus on trying to get squishier, to try and get more small and deep on either side. I showed you the version with your hands down to give you a little bit of support. You need less balance and less strength. If you're looking for a challenge, you can stand up a little bit straighter, extend your arms in front of you to shift the balance. And the end goal is still the same. Squish down as low as you can, heels down. We're doing 10 of these in total. I have demonstrated a whole bunch of these. I assume you've started them. So let's just pretend we're on number 3. 4, 5, 6. If your knees are very uncomfortable and they are not enjoying these, you can come up into sort of a half squat, come across to the other side, and then sink down into the stretch. Come back up, across, and down. That's 7. And 8. 9. And 10. Whew. That is our Cossack switches. If your hips are really tired right now, if you're a little bit out of breath, if your heart is pumping, those are all things that we were aiming for and all things we were looking for, because now you are totally warmed up and we are ready for some stretches. Before we get into the stretches, I want you to go grab a cushion for your knees. We are doing a hamstring stretch that looks a little bit like this. We're dropping down to one knee, we're folding the belly button down to the thigh, and it definitely helps to have a little bit of cushion. It doesn't have to be a pillow, it could be a towel. If you got a couple of yoga mats, you can fold those down a little bit, and hopefully that pads your knee. I'm gonna come over, check the chat real quick, and then we're gonna move right on into some hamstring stretches. Whew. All right, I'm gonna try and scroll back to the top to the last message that I saw so that I have some chronological order in how I respond to these comments and I don't just make up stuff and be confused by my own conversation. Alec400 says, here because I don't want to do it, but must. Woo, let's do it. Yeah. Appreciate it, Alec. Thank you for being here. Thank you for practicing consistency, both for yourself and, of course, for me, because I'm here and I appreciate that you're here. And thank you for participating in the chat, because that is also super motivating for me. Truckokian says, I need to sit down. God, that's absolutely okay. You can definitely sit down when you need to, take breaks when you need to, take care of yourself, right? At the end of the day, this is all about taking care of your situation, making yourself move a little bit better. If you need to take a break for you, then you should absolutely do that. We got a question on YouTube that says, do you prefer us to watch on YouTube or TikTok? I think in general, I'd probably prefer if you're already on YouTube, to stay on YouTube, because I'd like to grow the individual platforms. If I sent them all to one place, I feel like YouTube would not be happy about that. And I don't know how that impacts all the other things. So if you're already watching on YouTube, if YouTube is your platform of choice, go hang out on YouTube. And I hope that if you continue to engage in the chat, I won't feel like I'm favoring TikTok. It's just that there's way more activity happening on TikTok. And so I'm always staring at a slightly different phone. But upgrades in the tech are mentally in the works. So I'm going to figure out how we can sort of merge things a little bit better in the next couple of weeks. All right, scrolling back down, scrolling through the chat. And KK asks, lower back side tightness. Show me a quick release, please. Lower back side tightness. If you have tightness sort of here and there, where my fingers are, you can sort of combine a side stretch with a hamstring stretch and fold slightly off to the side. And that should give you a little bit of a stretch here. It'll be mostly in the oblique, but maybe if you have just a little bit, that will be enough to loosen up the muscles in the low back side. If it doesn't work at all, keep on rotating. There we go, found it. If you fold forward and you lean off a little bit to the side, that muscle in the back will get a little bit of a stretch. It won't be an intense stretch, but it will be just a little bit to help you get through whatever it is that you're struggling with. Mitchell says, any content that helps people get likes from me, I need all of this. Lovely. Okay, there's a lot of compliments in the chat. I appreciate it, everybody. We are gonna get back into some stretching because I've been at the phones for a while. I don't want you guys to cool off. Let's get into the first stretch. We're doing the hamstring stretch. And if you're just joining in, because I think that's the case, we do this show every single day at 9 p.m. Eastern, and the goal is to spend 45 minutes every single day practicing consistency and training for the side splits. We do this every day to build consistency, but also to build a little bit of community. I keep on showing up, and I hope that as you find that this is more useful or more fun, you keep showing up so we can have a regular community, supporting each other in the chat, sending good vibes, giving good energy to the rest of our internet community. And hopefully, with a lot of consistency, with a lot of community, it'll be a lot easier for us to get into some deep side splits. Let's continue with some hamstring stretches. We're going to drop down to one side. We're going to focus on pointing our hips, our shoulders, our head in one direction. Then I'm going to rotate to the other side so you can see what my body is doing, but follow along whichever angle you prefer. From here, we're extending the leg that we want to stretch. If immediately you're feeling like you're off balance, you can widen your stance just a little bit. And I want you to focus on bringing the belly button right here down to your thigh. All right? Try to keep the low back relatively straight. We don't want to see this. We want to see more of that. Cool? So if you feel like there's pressure in the back of your neck, if there's pressure in your upper back and shoulders, you undo that. You don't need that. It's all happening at the hips from the belly button. Cool? From here, we're trying to fold forward. Your hamstrings are going to be tight. Your calves are going to be tight. Everything's going to be unhappy. We're going to take a big breath in. Then we're going to slowly exhale. And as we exhale, we're going to try and fold. We're going to try and bring that belly button down towards your thigh. Cool? Let's go. Inhale. Exhale and fold. Fold, 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 fold. And don't hold your breath. Take some normal breaths. Relax for a second. Get your body used to that tension in the hamstrings. We're going to take another inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale and fold. Your hamstrings are probably tightening up even more. Very uncomfortable. And one last reminder, try to keep that back relatively straight. I know I'm telling you to fold and you're like, how am I supposed to fold without doing this? Try your best. From here, we're holding for 30 seconds. Let's go. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11. Keep on breathing. Don't hold your breath. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Oh, come on out of that stretch. Chill, breathe, relax for a second, and when you can, come on over, switch to the other side, and let's keep going. Hips forward, shoulders forward, head forward, extend the leg forward. If you're suddenly losing balance, widen the stance slightly, just a little bit. And you know the deal. We're taking a big inhale and we're folding on the exhale. But first, get into sort of close to the right position. And inhale. Exhale. Fold. If your knees are starting to hurt a little bit, you can give them a slight bend. When you do give them that slight bend, it's going to reduce the intensity of the hamstring stretch. So I want you to try even further to bring your belly button down. You might find that it's a lot easier to bring the belly button down, and maybe your chest is also starting to come down. And if that's the case and you get here, great. From here, there's probably no pain in the knees. And from here, you can slowly extend the leg and try and straighten out the leg until you have knee pain again. Cool. That is your hamstring stretch. Let's finish ours for everybody else. Let's go. One more inhale, exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Fold that belly button down. Try not to round your shoulders and your back like this. Keep those upright and straight. Maybe look up slightly to help with that. And 30 seconds. Let's do it. 30. 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, remember to breathe, don't hold your breath, 17, 16, 15, you might find one side is more flexible than the other, 13, 12, 11, that's true for me at least, because I have an old hamstring injury on this left side, and it seems like as part of the recovery process from 15 years ago, I didn't do enough stretching. So my left side is way tighter than the right side. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. That's the hamstring stretch. Come on out of it. And when you can, come back into standing. We don't need the cushion anymore. You can get rid of it. Try not to throw it at anything that will break. And let's get ready to get into stretch number 2, the butterfly. The butterfly stretch in general looks like this. We're sitting on our butts. We're bringing our feet together. We're pulling it in towards our groin. And we hang out looking a little bit like this. The goal here is to bring the knees down to the ground. So we're trying to open up the legs, are trying to bring the knees down, and I want you to use your muscles to do this, especially at the beginning. We are trying to use these outer thigh muscles and your glutes to pull your knees into the ground. All right? It's going to be a little bit of trial and error if this is your first time trying to use your muscles to do it. But as you get stronger and you develop more control of those muscles, your body will also allow you a little bit more flexibility. Once you are here, I want you to apply pressure with your hands, but it is very hard to apply pressure with your hands without pushing yourself back and falling backwards. So I recommend you get to a wall, or if you can't get to a wall, something stable and sturdy that you can lean against. I'm going to use this wall right here by the side of this table. I'm going to stick my hips, my shoulder, my head against the wall, get into the same position, and you might notice it's a little bit easier to stay and keep these knees down as low as your muscles will allow. From here, when you apply pressure with your hands, you'll start feeling pressure in the back of your head, in the back of your upper back, and that is the wall keeping you from falling backwards, which we appreciate because now we can focus on putting pressure into the legs. That is all we're doing. Let's go. Holding this for 30 seconds. I'm going to scoot my butt over here because I don't have enough room. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Okay, relax those muscles. You can stop pushing against your knees. Your legs might feel a little bit stuck and maybe like they're not moving as well as you think they should be all of a sudden. And that is absolutely normal. That's what happens when you flex a muscle for 30 seconds. The rest of the muscles quit at doing whatever they're supposed to be able to do. So give those legs a little bit of shake, give them a little bit of movement, and they should come right back into some sort of form of functioning. When your legs are working, come on back into standing and do a little hopping, do a little shaking. Let the hips relax. Grab a sip of water. I'm gonna check the chat real quick and come back to this. Foxy Roxy on YouTube asks, are you thinking of doing a new stretch to help with the front split today? No, I did say that I would start implementing some front split stuff in yesterday at the end of the year, but I have not worked on it nearly much enough to put it right into our regular workout and our regular flow. So I'm not gonna have that in today, but it is in the works. So I will see you'll see it in a little bit. Mad have codes. For a second, I thought you were talking about avocados. Mad have codes says, hi, Happy New Year. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Happy New Year to you too. Forever World says, this is great. Emily says, thanks for getting me off the couch on the holiday. Lovely. Thank you for getting off the couch and getting into the stretches on this holiday. If you're just joining and you have no idea what we do 45-ish minutes of live side split stretching every single day to practice consistency, to build a little community. I try to bring good vibes into the internet. I hope you bring good vibes into the chat and support each other so that we can practice consistency, the most important quality, build a little bit of community, and train our side splits and get a lot more mobility in the hips, because side splits don't come magically. You got to build up to them. If that sounds cool, if that sounds fun, if that sounds like something that your New Year's resolution would appreciate, for example, follow, hit subscribe, and keep coming back. We are live every day at 9 p.m. Eastern. And on weekends, we do double duty. We do a 9 a.m. and a 9 p.m. Eastern show. I'm going to scroll through the chat a little bit more, and then we'll get back into stretch number 3. Any content that helps people get legs from me. Oh, okay, I did read this. Scrolling. Trying to get to some stuff. I try my best to cover some of the chats as they come in, but because I'm all the way back there, it is hard to keep up. So bear with me. Gayatha says, drink hot water. Oh. Alec400 says, Ken, imagine all 100 plus people stretching next to you. Was there 100 plus people in the live at one point? That is amazing. Thank you, TikTok algorithm. I can't imagine the size of this room or how warm it would be. I'm sweating so hard. I can't imagine if 100 people were generating this much body heat trying to heat up the room. Please tell me about boiling after dinner. Bolting after dinner and lunch. I have no idea what that means. But Gayatha responded with, drink hot water. Happy New Year's. Happy New Year's to everybody. Thank you for being here. And I think that is most of the main things to respond to in the chat. So, well, actually, Forever Weird says, I do feel extra stretchy now. Lovely. Lovely. M Notes asks, do you have, oh, okay, very good question. Do you have stretches that don't involve getting on your knees? Because I don't have a yoga mat. In the particular case of the hamstring stretch that we were just doing earlier, you don't have to have a yoga mat. In fact, I'm just using a couch cushion. You can use slippers, flip-flops, chanclas, if you prefer. I have in the past used a towel that needed to go into the wash, rolled it up, just put it down on my knees, and used that. If that is not enough, I mean, I think that should be enough because you said I don't have a yoga mat, but if that's also not enough, then Yes, the hamstring stretch is a pretty straightforward stretch. The goal is to stretch out the muscles in the back, so you don't need to drop down onto a knee to do it. I like to drop down because you feel a little safer, you have a lot more control, and if we hang out here for a long time, you can help use your hands for balance, and that's why I like that version of the hamstring stretch. But the hamstring stretch can be done a lot of different ways. If you want, you can lean your butt against the wall, and you can just fold forward. And you can get a very similar effect without having one knee on the ground. Hope that helps. Okay, I think with that, ooh, Nana says it was actually 140. Amazing. Okay, well, 140 people were here, so let's get back to work. Let's go into stretch number 3. It is called the standing pancake. The standing pancake looks a little bit like this. We're opening up our legs decently wide. We're folding forward at the hips. And if it looks like we're just trying to touch our toes with our legs slightly apart, that is 100% what we are doing. That is the standing pancakes starting position. From the side, it looks a little bit like this. We are folding at the hips, trying to bring that belly button down towards the ground. And if you can touch your feet, great. If you can't, that's fine. It's no big deal. If you put your hands down in the middle, take some pressure off of your folding your hips. Let's take some pressure off your legs. If you are in this L shape already, you can decide if you want to widen your stance and have the legs go further apart. You don't have to, it just depends on what you're comfortable with. The goal here is to fold forward at the hips. And what we want is to have gravity pull us down as much as possible. That's always helpful. And then we want to bring the belly button lower, 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 lower. Oh. Oh. That is basically the standing pancake. It only gets harder from here. So we take this version, the version where gravity is giving us a little bit of help, with a lot of gratitude. Thank you, gravity. From here, we got a couple of options. If you stick your butt a little bit back behind you, that will help you to start folding, and it'll also help you because you'll be able to counterbalance extending the arms. When you extend the arms, gravity will pull even harder, or it'll feel like it's pulling even harder, and it'll bring you closer to the ground. Focus on folding at the hips, bring that belly button down, and we're gonna hold this for 30 seconds more. It's gonna be super tiring because I've held this position for so long, and I'm sure some of you are already suffering. Good luck. 30 seconds, 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20. Remember, the goal is to fold at the hips and bring the belly button down towards the ground. 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Put your hands down. It's done. Pull your legs in. Kneel, squat, do whatever you gotta do. Take a break. If your legs are struggling, that is okay. It's absolutely normal. And yeah, two main places where you're probably really feeling it right now. One, if you took advantage of trying to bring your legs really far apart, your adductors are probably crying a little bit, and that's because when you get into these extended positions, these muscles tend to be a little bit weaker in those positions because we don't spend any time in those positions. And if you're going to hang out here for 30 seconds, your legs are going to get surprisingly tired and surprisingly unhappy. But the pro to all that suffering is these muscles are getting a little bit of training. They're getting a little bit stronger every time you hang out here for so long. The other place you're probably feeling an intense stretch is in your hamstrings. Your hamstrings connect the bottom of your pelvis. So if you know what a pelvis generally looks like, it's like the weird heart-shaped thing. They tag in to the bottom of your pelvis, to basically your sits bone, that bone that you feel when you sit down, and they go basically just below the knee. So anytime you fold forward, it doesn't matter if your legs are together or if your legs are far apart, as long as you're folding forward, the bottom of your pelvis is going up and behind you, and that is the hamstring stretch that you are feeling. So that was rough. that was our third stretch, the standing pancake. We get to take it a little bit more chill from this point onwards, just for like a minute or so. And the next stretch that we're gonna do is the figure 4 stretch, I believe. I think we did the pigeon yesterday, so let's get into some figure 4. The goal of this stretch is to bring the ankle across the body, just above the knee. And if I were not wearing contrasting color shorts, then it would look a little bit like the number 4. You can ignore that and just grab that ankle, bring it up to your belly button, and bring that belly button down towards the leg. This might look familiar, but we are focusing on the side butt, the side hip right here. This is where you should be feeling the stretch. Cool? Take a breath, relax. If you try to do that on one leg while you were balancing, you didn't have to. I was just explaining what it's supposed to look like. If you are a regular and you have a preference of which stretch that you're gonna do, go ahead, do that. We're gonna do the figure 4 today, especially because we got a whole bunch of newbies. Cool? From here, we're gonna lay down. I hope your floors are clean. This is the most important part of stretching, having clean floors. We're gonna take that leg, we're gonna cross it over to the other side. Once again, the ankle is just above the knee. We're gonna reach our arms through the triangle we just made. We're gonna reach around that leg. We're gonna pull it in towards us. You should feel a bit of a stretch on the hamstring because we just worked it pretty hard. So it might be a little bit tender. And you wanna feel the stretch here in this outer hip, this side glute area. And all we have to do now is pull the knee in towards our chest, towards our belly buttons. And relax. That's it. I hope that makes sense. If your knees are hurting because there's a lot of pressure coming from the ankle and it's causing your hips to twist and your knee to take a lot of burden, you can cup the knee. Sorry, that sounded like I smacked the knee. Cup the knee and give it a little bit of love and pull that in for yourself as well. Okay, that's a lot of words. Let's go. 30 seconds. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25. Again, we're trying to make sure we're feeling it in the side of the hip, in the glute. If you need to put some pressure on your knee just to get that pressure building and that butt stretched, do it. 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13. We got another con of the stretch. If you round your back too much, you might start falling over like a turtle trapped on its back. And that is a pain in the butt. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Ugh. I hope you were able to feel that stretch in the side of the hip, in this outside of the butt, because we're moving on to the other leg. Let's go. I'm going to spin around back over here to the other side. Switching legs, crossing it over, reaching our arms through and around to pull on that knee. Again, we're cupping the leg that's getting stretched in case you have a little bit of knee pain or knee discomfort. If you're somehow able to, you can stick that elbow over your knee bow and pull like this. That's it. Let's do it. 30 seconds. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24. The closer you bring this knee to the chest, the more you'll feel that stretch in the hip. We pull and apply pressure from around that ankle area, but if you have bad knees, most of the stretch is coming from this knee right here. I lost count. 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Remember to breathe. Don't hold your breath. 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Oh, that is the figure 4. And we are done. If you have been doing the pigeon variation, cool. We are getting up. And that is stretch number 4 that we just finished. We do a total of 5 stretches. The fifth and final stretch is the side splits themselves and everything we've done so far. If you've been here since the beginning, we did 3 warm-up exercises to get our joints warmed up, to get our heart pumping, to get that blood flowing. And then we did 4 stretches leading to this 4th one. And we do all those things to prepare our bodies for the side splits. Every stretch that we did pre-stretched something, or stretched again and stretched again and stretched again, something that we need for the side splits. Some of those stretches take it further than the side splits require so that you have an abundance of flexibility for that position. And some of them, not quite enough, but we're working on that stretch for some muscles anyway. Okay, that was just some filler text so I could catch my breath, but I talked so much I don't think I caught my breath. Let's get into some side splits. First, before we talk about side splits, talk about safety in the side splits. We're going to spend a lot of time in a position, something like this, and we're going to spend a lot of time in a position that kind of looks like this with our hands down. So if you fall forward, you're going to be fine, you can catch yourself. But what happens if you start falling backwards and you're like, oh, what happened? Oh, no, Luckily, I have a table right behind me, so I can look really cool and casual while I talk about safety. But for everybody else at home, I hope that you will find something nice and comfortable that you can fall back on as well. I recommend just getting close to a wall and standing about 8 to 12 inches in front of that wall so that when you start falling backwards, when you're in this position, you go, oh no, what's happening? The wall will be there to catch you, keep you safe, and you'll feel a lot safer and a lot more comfortable in this position because you can't fall backwards and slam your butt into the ground. Cool? Keep the wall there. It's your best friend. We use it for everything. Take advantage. And with that, that is our safety spiel. Safety spiel. Open up the legs as wide as you can without discomfort in the hips. If they're already uncomfortable, come back up a little bit and focus on folding forward. We're trying to bring the belly button down to face the ground. Take your hands. See if you can almost do a little bit of a push-up from that position. We don't want to do a real push-up. We just want to shift some of that body weight into your arms so that there's less on your legs. What we're doing next is called external leg rotation. I'm going to scoot back so I can make sure everything is caught on camera. And external leg rotation looks like this. Our heels are down, our toes are up, and our knees are pointing up. We talked about this in the warm-up, but a lot of people are probably coming in fresh. So heels are down, toes are up, knees are up. All right, this is called external leg rotation. You're rotating the leg out so that the leg bone, the thigh bone, does not smash into your pelvis. We don't need to get too deep into the anatomy. You just need to rotate your legs. All right. From here, we're already in a really good side split position. But to make it a little bit more interesting, to make it a little bit more difficult, to increase your suffering, we're going to scoot our hands back towards our hips. All that weight that we put forward out of our legs, we're putting right back into our legs, and that will help to make this all a little bit more painful. From here, you can stop and we can just hold this. Or you can do a little wiggle from side to side to try and get a little bit deeper into the stretch, breaking the friction, holding our feet back. Oh, and now I think it's time. We're doing 30 seconds. Let's go. 30, 29, 28. If it's too hard to hold in one position the whole time, you can walk your hands forward, shift the stretch onto slightly different muscles. You can walk your hands back, stretch slightly different muscles. 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16. You can add that wiggle in at any time, get a little bit more reach. 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, we're almost done, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Crawl forward, relax, breathe, come back into a kneeling position. You don't have to come out of that stretch the same way I just did. If you want, you can crawl your hands forward and then pull your knees in underneath you. You can, if you're already pretty low to the ground, you can sort of just sit back against the wall and slide your butt all the way down until you're in a more comfortable, relaxed position. From here, we're gonna chill for a little bit because our muscles just went through a lot of suffering. When we're doing the stretch, if it feels like we cannot move any further, it is because a whole bunch of your muscles, all of these muscles in your hips and your legs, they're pulling really tight to keep you from getting deeper into a side split. It sounds counterintuitive. We think that we don't have any flexibility and we get stuck because our muscles aren't long enough. But the reality is, it's your muscles going, whoa, whoa, stop, this is dangerous. What are you doing? Why are you trying to do this? Your brain is subconsciously shouting at the rest of your body and going, whoa, hey, heck no, this is not okay. And your muscles pulling tense to keep you from doing crazy things, like the side split. So a lot of stretching is getting your muscles to relax and chill out because you're trying to do this on purpose. So body, please stop fighting me. Cool? Where am I going with this? It's time to relax. That's what it is. We are going to undo some of that tension that our body just created, and we're going to do it by sort of shaking it out. What I want you to imagine, what we're doing right now, is doing a little kick, a little flick, like you just got out of the pool, like you got out of the shower and your feet are still wet, so you're gonna flick water all over the bathroom. That is not a good analogy. Just pretend that I didn't say that. Flick your legs, flick your arms, flick, 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 flick. And we want this motion to get more comfortable, to get more relaxed, so that your legs look like they're starting to flop around a little bit more, right? Your ankles are going all over the place, your hips are added into it, and this takes a little bit of practice, so you don't have to get here from day one. You can start with just the flicking of the water off your feet and your hands, and switch to the other side. Flick, 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 flick. We're gonna go for 5-10 seconds on each side. Obviously, I've been explaining what this is for way longer than 5 to 10 seconds, so we've done plenty. But if you're just figuring out the form, you're just figuring out what the heck is going on with your legs, then maybe you haven't gotten that full 10 seconds. When you get a little bit more comfortable with the idea of shaking out your leg, shaking out the tension, getting relaxed, getting loose, or maybe you don't believe me, you think this is totally crazy. I want you to imagine if all your muscles are super tense and you had to go do stuff, you would start moving a little bit like a robot. You'd be like stiff, right? You'd be like, huh, huh, my biceps are so tense. That's not what we want. We want loose legs, we want loose arms, we want to flop. And that's what this is all for. If your leg is visually just going all over the dang place, there's just no way it can be tense, okay? That's the principle. And you can go apply it pretty much to anything else where you have a whole bunch of tension. Like when you're doing bicep curls, you're on set 3, you gotta relax the arm because your elbow literally can't straighten. Shake those muscles, relax them out, and they'll perform a little bit better for the next set. All right, our legs are shaking out. Let's get into side split number 2. Again, get in front of the wall, 8 to 12 inches. Get in front of whatever you're gonna fall back on. Stay safe, and let's begin. Open up those legs decently wide. Again, not uncomfortable in the hips. Fold forward, bring that belly button facing the ground. Put your hands down. You can open up your legs if you want right now. Just get a little bit deeper. And from here, we're gonna shift our body weight into the arms, push them forward so there's less weight in the legs, so it's easier to externally rotate. External rotation is the heels are down, the toes are up, the knees are up. Heels are down, toes are up, knees are up. What we are doing is moving the thigh bones out of the way of the hip bones so that it does not hurt. From here, you can bring your hands back, you can shift your weight back into your legs and try and get as deep as you can. If your butt is resting against the wall, you might be able to start removing your hands and doing crazy things like talking with your hands. But most likely, your hands will be underneath, supporting a little bit of weight underneath you. Once you're here, try to see if you can do a little bit of a wiggle from side to side. And if it doesn't take you anywhere, it doesn't take you anywhere. That's okay. We're ready. Let's go. 30 seconds. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22. Remember to breathe. Don't hold your breath. Holding your breath is not good at all. 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13. I'm trying to think of funny things to say so that I can fill your brain with stuff so you're not so focused on the pain of the stretch and the suffering that you're going through, but I have run out of stuff to say. So 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, we're almost done. 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All right, walk your hands forward. Slowly pull those legs in. Hang out in a kneeling position if you want, and feel the tension building in the hips, or I guess the tension finally unbuilding in the hips. The idea that you're trying to relax and then your muscles still going, wait, I thought we were suffering still. What's going on? Why are your legs all weird right now? What's going on? What's happening? If that happens, just give your legs a little bit of a light massage and try your best to come back into standing. Shake out the legs. Shake, 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 shake. If you're feeling wobbly, your legs are tired, you can lean against the wall. Good old wall here, coming in to save the day once again. Shake, 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 shake. Again, you can start with just some basic flicking. Most of the movement is coming from just below the knee. And as you get more skilled, you can add in a little bit of the hip and relax that leg. Relax, 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 relax. I want you to imagine you are a bowl of spaghetti about to get placed, just pulled out of the pot. And you're like floppy, you're all droopy, about to get dropped into the bowl to get served, or onto the plate to be served. And I want you to be loose. I want you to wiggle. I want your muscles to be relaxed. Shake, 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 shake. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. This is forcefully getting our muscles to relax. If you are struggling a little bit to get to the more advanced feeling version of the shaking, we got some intermediate positions. If you put all your weight onto the right leg, for example, and you put one toe down on the other leg, and you just focus on relaxing the muscles and turning the leg slightly from side to side, you might feel your quads shifting. You might feel your hamstrings shifting. If you are really, really casual, you might feel your calves flopping from side to side. Because the toe is down, some muscles are inevitably going to be contracted, but we want you to use similar motions in the leg to help them relax. So we're going to try a version where your toes are down. We're going to do that on either side. Shake it out. Shake, 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 shake. And that's it. That's it. Shake, wiggle. It takes time. You're going to learn it. Don't worry. I hope your legs are relaxed and they're not super stressed out, because you're like, how am I supposed to loosen up my legs like that? Give yourself a little bit of love in the hips. Massage those muscles. And I think it's time for side split number 3. We spend a lot of time in between because I want your muscles to have as much time as possible to relax, to reset. If you do fitness and you do bodybuilding or weightlifting, you know it's important to take rest in between the sets so that you can get the most out of your next exercise. It's the same for here. And I talk about shaking, I talk about relaxing, I talk about a whole bunch of stuff, but the goal really is to just give yourself time to relax. All right, let's go. Side split number 3. We are in front of whatever it is that we need to be in front of to keep us safe when we fall backwards, whether that is a cool table to make you look like an also casual, I'm leaning back on purpose, or a wall that will just make sure your butt does not collapse into the ground and slams and makes your butt hurt for the rest of the day. Those are good options. Open up those legs. Breathe. We don't want any pain in the hips. We're folding forward, putting our hands down, shifting some weight into the hands, leaning forward, then externally rotating the legs. The heels are down, the toes are up, the knees are up. Heels are down, toes are up, knees are up. From here, we're gonna try our best to wiggle ourselves deeper into the stretch. We're gonna walk our hands back so that all the pressure is in our legs. By the third time you do this, you'll be able to magically acquire stretch, so you don't have to be as formulaic as in the first one where you're like walk your hands back and then wiggle your feet out. You can sort of combine everything because you'll have a little bit more flexibility compared to that first time we did the stretch. And once you're as deep as you can get today, breathe, do one last wiggle. If that's not going anywhere, then we're ready. 30 seconds, let's go. 30, 29, 28, 27. If it gets too intense at any spot, you can shift your weight forward. You can put some of that body weight into your hands and you can chill out there for a little bit. 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, we're almost done, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All right, we're done. Walk your hands forward a little bit, take some pressure off the legs, pull those legs in. One leg at a time. When you pull them in, maybe your adductors, the inner thigh muscles, are a little bit stressed out. But as soon as you're in the kneeling position, they should be able to relax. Maybe your hip muscles out here are feeling a little bit intense from that stretched out leg position. And now that they are tucked underneath you, you can give them a little bit of a massage. That was our third and final side split. We are all done. So we're gonna shake it out. We're gonna relax. We're gonna check some joints, and then we're gonna make sure that you are all good and safe to go back to whatever else you gotta do for the rest of the day. That was I said 45 minutes, but I'm pretty sure we're 61. That is our, hopefully one day, 45 minutes of live side split stretching. And we do this every day to practice consistency. We do this every day to build a little community. We do this every day so that we can suffer together and have fun and make the whole thing a little bit less painful. I hope you keep coming back. Hit follow, hit subscribe. I'll see you tomorrow. Let's look at some stretching. And by stretching, I mean some flopping. Flop, 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 flop. Shake, 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 shake. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. Loosen up the muscles in that leg. Flop around. Flop, 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 flop. Do the other side. Shake, 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 shake. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. Flop, 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 flop. I want you to almost imagine you are that balloon thing at car dealerships where air is getting blown through it, and so you're going woo, but mostly for your legs, and those things don't really have legs. So if that's a bad analogy, then you're just gonna have to deal with it. We usually talk about feeling like hot, overboiled spaghetti or a cup of noodles that you poured hot water in, then you went to do like something real fast because you didn't have the patience to wait for it, and now they are a soggy mess of I don't know why this is my sound, but that is what we're aiming for. We are going for loose and wiggly and loose and wiggly. And that, hopefully, is enough to get your legs a little bit more relaxed and a little bit more prepared for whatever else you got left for the day. But we gotta work a little bit on those hips because those muscles are a little bit harder to work on when you're shaking out the legs. So, next up, we're gonna pop into kind of a gentle light squat, maybe like a 20% squat. And I want you to keep your hips in the same position, so they're not moving anywhere, and come onto the balls of your feet, so just behind the toes. And I want you to try and rotate your knee in and out. All of the movement is coming from the hip joint. It's coming from where the leg bone connects with the hip bone. Nothing else is moving. My knees look like they're moving, but the distance between my calf and the hamstring is not changing. It's just rotating here at the hip. We're gonna go in and out a little bit just to get some of these muscles to get a little bit of movement, because all we've done is put them in this really deep, intense, long position. And now we're gonna do the other side. Just in and out a little bit. If you want to be an overachiever, you can really focus on rotating as far in and as far out as you can get. But it's not super critical for us right now. We are just trying to loosen up those muscles, give them a little bit of love. If you want, you can imagine you're playing some hacky sack, lift those ankles up. This is basically the pigeon stretch, except a little bit more active. And with that, your hips should be feeling love, should be moving a little bit better. And we'll do one last little bit of joint checks to make sure that everything is working well. Last thing starts with the hip circle. We're just taking those hips, bringing them through a nice big circle. I feel a lot of relief here on the left and right side. I say relief, but really I think I should say a stretch on the left and right side. And that's where I like to focus my attention. If you have different muscles that are tight, that need a little bit of stretch, go ahead and focus on that. Once you're done with those, let's do a couple of quick high knees, just to make sure these hip flexors are staying powerful, staying strong, able to do their job. Then we're gonna pop into a quick squat. We're going to fold here at the hips. We're going to put some pressure on the knees by leaning a little bit forward. We're going to put some pressure on the ankles, put some pressure on the toes, and then eventually I want you to try a bit of a calf raise. If all of those muscles can work together and they can move, then you are probably ready for whatever else you got to do for the rest of the day. And that, my friends, is the whole entire life. Thank you for being here. Thank you for trying it out for the first time for a lot of you. And thank you for being here and practicing consistency for everybody else. We are here every single day, building consistency, building a little bit of community, trying to share good vibes into the world and amongst each other in the chat so that we can suffer a little less together. I mean, the physical suffering is going to be the same, but the emotional suffering will be a little bit less so that we can get a whole bunch of side split progress and work on those hips. Okay, I am ready to finally come back to the chat and see what is up. Eduardo, welcome back on YouTube. It's good to see you. And Foxy Roxy on YouTube asks, how is your front split? So I popped into a really quick sorta-ish front split yesterday because I was like, oh, you know, we can integrate this in. And I have not done one of these intentionally ever. And I guess this is a moment to test it out and see how it's going. That is a lot better than I was expecting, to be honest. I never do the front split because for the longest time, it was always my worst of my options. My middle split seemed to be better. And so I was like, I'm gonna train the middle splits first. And I guess somehow during all the middle split stuff, the front split got a lot better. I didn't really pay attention when we did the quick second of it because somebody asked a question about what the front leg, back leg stretch is called. And I was like, are we talking about front split? Are we talking about pigeon? What is it that you're asking about? But several people in the chat yesterday suggested that maybe we integrate some front splits into our workout as well. And seeing as I don't recall having done very much for the front splits, and my front split has made kind of crazy progress, I think we should. I think we should. Some extra motivation to add that in. Cool. I am going to scroll way deep on TikTok to see where we are at in the chat because I have not been back here in a little bit. And then I'm going to follow it in relatively close to chronological order so that I have some guesses to what the comments are about. Sarah with a live goal and a trophy. I don't know what that means, but I appreciate you. Sarah says, we got this. Jose came in saying, do a flip. And then Sarah says, do a barrel roll, Jose. Oh, thanks, Sarah. Thank you for defending me and keeping me from being just a dancing monkey on the internet. I appreciate it. Gayeta says, about mid-low back. I have no idea what that was about either. Okay, continue scrolling. Scrolling. Task says, nice stretch. And We are still scrolling, still scrolling. Chess sends a heart. Creamy Rainbow says, so flexible. We have been training every single day for about 365. Nah, it's not even true. It's way more than that at this point. Like 390 days. And so, if it feels like I'm very flexible, if it feels like it's unattainable, don't. I've been doing basically just this live for my flexibility for the last year and change. And I can tell you right now that this is not the most effective way to get flexible if we're talking about just pure exercises for flexibility. My biggest struggle for forever was staying consistent. And so I wanted to create something that was mostly about staying consistent, keeping it fun, keeping it engaging, keeping it entertaining just enough so that it was easier to stay consistent. Because even if you have the most fastest workout plan, right, it only takes you 3 months to get the middle splits, whatever the promise on the internet is. If you can't follow it for the whole 3 months, you're probably not going to see the results that you want. And that is where consistency comes in. The harder and more intense and more painful the stretches are, tends to be the case that they tend to also be a little bit more effective. But if you're gonna quit after 2 weeks, what's the point? Like, you didn't make any progress anyway, right? So the goal here is to practice consistency, to make it fun, to make it engaging, to make it something that you can do more regularly so that you can build up the habit of consistency. And if you feel like, a couple weeks from now, you've leveled up, you can be consistent, you're a badass, go do the crazy intense one. Do it. And if that somehow doesn't work out for you, come back. We can practice consistency some more. Cool. What time tomorrow, Whit Deer asks? We are at 9 p.m. Eastern daily. Thank you, Sarah, for answering the question. This says, Happy New Year's, everyone. See you later, Ken. I will see you later. Che responds as well, 9 p.m., about an hour ago. And we got a bunch of Happy New Year's. Happy New Year's. Sarah says, I'm feeling al dente. Lovely. Thank you. Enjoy the post-stretch looseness and flowiness and floppiness. We started with the hip cars. I don't know how many of you from the original opening are still on, but we started with something that looks a little bit like this. It's all about lifting your legs and bringing them through the full range of motion. If you start with it and then you end with a couple of these and see how different that feels, how some of the weird things that might be a little clicky or weird in your hip feels completely different by the time you get to the end, then that'll make you feel a lot better about the workout, I promise. I think the first time I realized how different the hip cars were was about a month and a half, 2 months ago, maybe. And I was like, whoa, these even my hips? What's going on? Has it always been like this? Have I just been never warming up enough to get past this clanky old man stage of the movement? And if there's any lesson to take away, is warm up. Do a little bit, get the thing going. We all spend way too much time scrolling on the internet, I know. And my mission is to be here a part of that so I can interrupt your scrolling and give you a little bit of exercise. But if you're scrolling and you see something really cool and you're like, wow, I wish I could do that, and you try your first rep and you're like, okay, never mind, there's no chance I can do that. I promise, if you warm up, you do a little bit of exercise, you train the muscles just a little bit right before you go do that thing, you'll be 200% better at it. Warming up is huge. And I don't know, maybe this is because I have the mentality of a 14-year-old boy. I'm like, I don't need warm up. I can just try it, no big deal, whatever. After doing the hip cars, I'm trying to come back to why this conversation started. After doing the hip cars, before and after the whole entire show, is a massive difference. If we were starting right at the very beginning of the hip cars, in this very specific example, I have a little hip thing going on in my right hip, and it feels the worst when we do the reverse hip car, and I bring the knee back to the front. That first one that I do every single day, I'm a little bit hesitant. I'm like, is it gonna hurt? Is it gonna hurt? Is it gonna hurt? There it goes, it hurts, right? And I haven't called it out so specifically during the lives, but I occasionally go, is it gonna hurt? Ugh. And I make a grunt or some sort of noise during that first one. The difference I feel from the first one of the day as we open the live versus the ones that I'm doing right now, even though it's been a couple of seconds since we've been doing anything, is massive. It's huge. So all that is to say, your body works better when you've given it a little bit of time to warm up, especially because it's winter and you're cold anyway. Go and take some time to warm up, and then you'll be able to do much cooler things, I promise. Okay, that topic I'm ready to move on from. Sarah says, pain is weakness leaving. Aye, that is awesome. We got a compliment on the voice. You have such a smooth talking voice. I could listen forever. Ah, so cute. That's nice. Thank you. I feel like I have way too many ums and filler words that I try to put in, especially ands. I say and so often that it might as well be just a capital letter in my sentences. Just and, especially when we're doing the stretches in the background. I think it's less noticeable when we're doing the stretches because you're like, what's the next thing? And so when I put in the word and to start every sentence, it's less noticeable, but I am trying to slowly eke my way towards more thoughtful words and sentences without little annoying tics and habits. But I appreciate the compliment. Thank you. I'm not really a teacher, but I guess this thing that I'm sort of doing kind of puts me in that role, right? Marilu Kuna says, or asks, if you only had time for one quick warm-up, what would it be? Okay, so the majority of the exercise that I'm getting is this thing that we do every single day. And in general, I think if you were to squeeze in something, anything at all to operate as a warm-up, not to replace a whole entire thing of exercise, I would probably still stick with hip cars because I have really bad hips and that gets in the way of everything. If you could see me, I've never really done this before. If you could see me before we do the whole entire stretch series, you would know that my flexibility is actually really bad. I only have the flexibility that you see during the lives. And then like an hour from now, I'll be like stiff as a board again. This is probably my maximum resting position if I have not warmed up. And even now, 15 minutes after we finished the live, this is the furthest I can extend my legs. And maybe on camera it looks kind of impressive because of the angle of the camera, but we were just hanging out way lower. This is my starting point again after 15 minutes. Before I was basically on the ground, right? So the difference that the warm up and the actual exercises getting built up makes is huge. And that's what I'm trying to focus on for this year, trying to make it so that I have control over the range of motion, not just, with enough help from gravity, able to sit in the positions that I want to get into. So my hips are where all of my problems are at. For forever, for longer than I can remember, I have had really tight hamstrings, and that's also part of the reason why we spend so much time doing hamstring stuff. And this is the deepest I've ever been with a hamstring related stretch. My left leg is a little bit tighter than my right leg. There's a little bit of unevenness, and I'm trying to work my way through it. So I think the combination of the hamstrings having been bad and the hip flexors being tight makes it so that this part, where I'm trying to bring the leg back in the bottom or in the final position of the hip car, makes it really difficult because I can feel the hip flexors really fighting against me, and they are way stronger than whatever the heck else is going on back here. This is called hip extension, by the way, extending the leg behind you. If you're a dancer or you've seen like videos of ballet classes, Black Swan, for example, you might have seen something like where people like kick their leg behind them. I have really tight hip flexors from probably way too much sitting, and my hip extension going backwards is butt. So I'm highlighting all of these things because I know my hips are causing lots of issues for me in my regular life, and that is why I'm going to focus on my hips pretty much every time. If you have amazing hips and you're already pretty close to a side split and you can just like drop into it, it's probably not as important for you as an individual. And it really depends on what you are going to train. For a lot of people, if you're going to go do bench press, starting with push-ups is plenty, right? Like, you want to warm up the whole body, but if you primarily focus on the muscles that you're trying to use immediately for whatever it is that you're warming up for, then that should be enough. If we were to focus purely on the side splits and not all of the other muscles that help and combine into the side splits, it's totally possible just to start in a really not deep side split, flex all the muscles in your legs, contract them, release them, contract them, release them. Even though it doesn't look like you're physically moving, your muscles can contract and relax in a normal-ish position. And with enough time, that's plenty for a warm-up as well, and it should allow you to drop into a side split-ish position. Two, T-O. I hope that answers your question. It was kind of a long ramble and went on a whole bunch of tangents, but hopefully you got some value out of that. Ari asks if I can do any ballet stance standing with one leg pull-up height. No, I can't do any of that stuff. That's way beyond my capability. I have good enough balance, I think, to stand on one leg. I can probably do something like lifting my leg up as high as this. Oh, that looks way higher on camera than I thought it was gonna look. Huh. Okay, that's new. I've never seen that before. I have enough strength and balance probably to do something like squat down on one leg and come back up. But this is as much flexibility as I think I have. I'm gonna see if I can lift my leg a little bit higher. Yeah, that's about it. Oh, that feels brand new. I mean, I've also never really tried it before, but now my hip muscles were contracting really hard, and I'm gonna need to massage that out a little bit. Oh, okay. Whew. But that is the most I can get out of that hip and out of those muscles. Whew. Oh, thank you. I got applause. Ari has followed, thank you, and promises to return. So thank you for being here. Thank you for asking fun questions. And thank you for keeping it at the end so that I don't have to interrupt the live with weird stuff like squatting and lifting my leg as high as I can. Whew. Alec 400 says, wabi sabi Ken. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, you got to work on what you can work on and appreciate all of the weirdness that comes with it, because it's your weirdness, it's your funkiness, and you got to go take care of what you got to go take care of. And if it's just not getting taken care of, then it's just not getting taken care of. I'm pretty sure, for everybody who has no idea what wabi sabi means, I'm pretty sure that it is sort of appreciating the beauty of things that are imperfect. And I think wabi sabi comes from Japanese culture, and if you want to imagine a porcelain bowl, if there are some cracks, you can turn that into art, you can turn that into decoration and not treat it as a broken bowl, right? So that's, I believe, the principle. Alec, correct me if I'm wrong, because I can't remember, and now I'm all stressed out about it. I believe that is what wabi sabi is all about. It's about taking the imperfections and seeing them from a new lens and treating them as a compliment, as a decoration, as part of the whole, and making it less of a negative and more of the beauty of the thing that is there. So thank you for the compliment, Alec. I appreciate it. Okay. And with that, all of your perfect imperfections. Amazing. Amazing. Oh, thank you. I wasn't too off. Okay. Ari says, you're cool. Nice to meet you, with the handshake. I appreciate it. Thank you for the compliment. I appreciate that you're here, and I appreciate that you enjoyed the live. We are here. Got to finish off with the spiel. We're here for at least 45 minutes, usually an hour plus every single day to practice consistency, build a little bit of a community, trying to create and send good vibes and good energy out into the internet so that we can all take care of our bodies a little bit better, primarily in the hips, primarily with some side splits as a fun goal. If you haven't realized already, we don't actually spend that much time in the side splits. The side splits are just like a nice bonus. Everything is about taking care of your hips, taking care of your hamstrings, taking care of your lower body joints. And so, if that is fun, if that is something you need to work on, if that's something that you have perhaps a New Year's resolution around, hit follow, hit subscribe, keep coming back. We are here every single day at 9 p.m. Eastern. And on weekends, I do a second show at 9 a.m. Eastern. So 9 and 9, and mostly 9 p.m. I hope you had fun. I hope you got a nice sweat in. I hope you are feeling a little bit more relaxed now and feel like you move a little bit better so you can go hop in the shower, relax, go to bed, and have a great evening. Hope you had fun. Hope to see you again tomorrow. And that's it. I'm wrapping up. Goodbye. I'm going to do one last scroll through the chat. I think we are good. Foxy Roxy over on YouTube did ask, do you still do 2 sessions on weekends? I do. I do 2 sessions on weekends. Sarah says, Happy New Year and see you next time. I'm so sorry. I completely forgot. Happy New Year, everybody. I hope you have a wonderful start to the new year, and I hope you had a wonderful end to the new year, or to the last year. That feels relaxing, refreshing, so they can come into the new year strong and kick some butt. Alec is gonna start the day, start the evening with a big old steak. Amazing. Go enjoy. You earned it. It's the start of the new year. Have fun. Eel Tears says, Happy New Year, Ken. Love your content. I appreciate it. Thank you, everybody, for being here, practicing consistency. I hope to see you tomorrow or the day after, because I'm going to be here. So keep coming back. Bye, everybody. Ending now.